Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in this big old world you may be. This is Turgon the Wise, bringing a new video to you today. And today is my Season 16 server update. We are now 16 days officially into the season. Here you can see the map. There are so many pretty colors here. Um, I got to really give it to people. I mean, this is a lot of different varieties of neon. Shout out to the devs for making so many pretty colors for people to be able to choose on the map. Um, so uh, Also, I want to give a shout out to all the folks on this server. Um, you know, it's been an interesting server so far, and we're 2 weeks, a little bit more than 2 weeks in now, and things are developing nicely. And I think the server is pretty competitive. I know some people probably will argue against me for that, and they're certainly more than entitled to do so. But excuse me while I take a sip of coffee here. Um, ain't nothing easy in this game. So let me walk you through first and foremost the battle pins we see on the map. And then I'll talk you through kind of how we've gotten here after a few weeks. So the first thing I'm going to take a look at is this red pin off here out in the west. This is between Luna, uh, Coom, and Aped. Now, I'll talk to you guys about Aped in a little bit. And there's also a battle pin. This is almost a million, 2.2 million participants. So nice. Nice looking battle pin out in the west there. I hope you guys are having some good fun. Um, and then we have Luna and Theo over here fighting. So it's cool. We have this little Luna kingdom out here. I just want to zoom in real quick to see they've got one, two. There's their two territories, and then up here we've got Coom, who seem to have partnered with apes. And then we have a couple of okay. This is here's aped, and they're part of the Kumalot kingdom, and then Nanloon is still um, neutral. So we have a vacant territory. How about that? Very interesting. Very cool. We still have a couple also of vacant territories over in here. So and Erebor remains unclaimed by the kingdom that should probably be taking this is Bull and Domi. But I guess they're a little preoccupied. We'll get to that in a second. So we've checked out these western pins. Let's come down over here to the Gap of Rohan. This is where our partner gods are currently fighting Neon and Theo, who I guess have decided to partner up against us. Although is Theo, I guess Neon is part of the Theo is part of the Neon Kingdom now, so they're partners. I think Theo used to be kind of on their own in this kingdom in Enidwaith, and Neon was in the White Mountains, or maybe I have that backwards. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone keep me honest. But they've joined forces and made this really pretty pink kingdom here. We got and then the purple, and then there's this is like a royal purple, and this is like a some sort of a fluorescent purple. A lot of different cool shades over here. And our kingdom, of course, is this big bright blue kingdom over here. So we got 3.1 million deaths, 9.3 million participants. That's a pretty active zone over there. That's drawing a significant amount of God's attention. I don't know how much of God's attention. Of course, I don't ask questions. We just go. Now here's the big pin on the map, and us Undeep survivors from season 14 and even season 15. Season 14 predominantly, though, where we had the 35-day battle pin. We're up to 9 days here now in the Undeeps. Yude's Isle Gods order. And then last night, LCDR poked their little heads in here. And so now we're up to 7.3 million deaths, 19 million participants. There is a lot of participants across this map. And that is why I say that the server is healthy and balanced. If you count the number of participants, that's really, I think, a key indicator for, like if you look at some of my videos from the past couple of seasons, there's a couple, most of the pins are in here in the middle, and then maybe one pin down here or one pin up there, and it's not big, it's tiny. We see a lot of pins across the map here. We're seeing a little pin there, and then there's another pin with 8.3 million participants between Yude's RUSC, LCDR, and Gods up in the southern Anduin Vale. So there's a lot of activity in the core regions. There's activity in, what was this called? Gap of Rohan. There's activity out west. And then in the far east, well, we've got Bull having a good old fight against Unaffiliated. Um, Cheers to Unaffiliated. Well done. I suppose that there are leveling commanders out there. And there's also some unaffiliated pins here. Unaffiliated versus HYSP. HISP. And then we've got two big red battle pins. Well, maybe they're not super big, but they've got 8.5 million participants and 3 million deaths over here. The pass into Gorgoroth from Ashen Plains, with Yudes going up against two fellowships. And then over here, we also have the two fellowships, Hisp and Free. Over here, we got Bull and Domi. We have Hisp and Free over here. 9.1 million participants, 3.2 million deaths. The pass into Eastern Wastes from Hills of Rune. So we've got 9.1. Let me just get my little old calculator here out. Let's just add this up. So we got 9.1 million out here. And we've got 8.5 million out here. And then I'm not going to count the unaffiliateds. We got 8.3 up here. We got 19 up here. We got 9.3 over here. And we got, I'll count this one, 400, well, it's 0.4. And then over here we got 2.2. So across the map, we have 56.8 million participants in battle pins. I think that's outstanding. It's really good, and it's cool to not just have all the fighting contained in the core regions around Dol Guldur. We're seeing pins over in Gap Rohan. We're seeing pins over by Gorgoroth and Ashen Plains, and way out in the very far east here between Hills of Rune and Eastern Wastes. So there's a lot of activity on the server, and it's a fun server. It's a nice contrast. 2 seasons ago, we were on a mega server with Meta Chaos, Pran Lame, and Gods Utes and Ilil Order, of course. So that was a really fun, but again, a lot of the fighting was contained along fronts in the center, and then another front where Ilil and Order had been pushed basically boxed out west against Meta Chaos. So there wasn't like this long line of pins across the map on that server. Similarly, in the last season where we played against Det Dobi, and then Gods and Ilil teamed up against us and Sela. Again, most of the pins on the map were in the core regions. There was nothing going on out west, and there was maybe a pin or two out here. There was LCDR and SPRT and some other French teams like hanging out down here fighting either Ilil or Det Dobi or themselves. But most of the fighting was in the core again. So it's cool to me, at least, to see the pins stretched out across the map, to see so many different participants from so many different teams. Let's go to the leaderboards. and it's nice to just see some fresh faces. Um, it's different this season. Oh, we finished something, and I need to collect this chest. Thank you. I like pins. I mean gems, pins. Jesus. Leaderboard. So if you look, this is the what is this? This is farm basically production by individual player, and you can see there's no one in Yudes in the top 10. There's some gods players up here, but no Yudes until number 13, 16, 17. So our farm is limited, although I have heard some grumblings because if you look at the team rankings, that's commanders. Sorry, I can't read Chinese, so I have to kind of go on memory. We have 2.2 million production. This is not production like your food production, like your RSS. This is like your ring power production, I believe. I could be wrong. So again, someone feel free to leave a comment and keep me honest here. So yeah, we have a tremendous amount of ring power, and that's cool and all. And there's complaints, the top two teams versus the whole rest of the server. But I mean, when you look at the reality of the server, everyone has space to farm. Y'all just not be farmed. Like there's this entire region out here. Like you could have this that would increase your power by 1100. There's other keeps up here. North Ravanian, that's 500. East Bice Keep, East Blight, and then the Withered Gardens. There's 1100 just hanging out up there. So there is, and there's also Orthonk, Isengard. There's Karen Dune. So I mean, there's farm out there for people to be getting, but and then there's this pass also that gets you another 500 per hour. So I mean, there's options out there for people to increase. The reason why our farm looks a little bit more disparate is because we've basically taken the majority of our control points within our spawn region. We have three passes over here. We've between gods and Yudes, we have three. We have Minas Tirith, we have Ridersburg, and we have Barad Dor. So we've got our three significant structures. Three passes here, passes here, 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 and here, and here. So I mean, that's why the power looks disparate. It's not this leaderboard here is not based upon your resource production. It's your ring production. I am very confident of that. But again, if I'm wrong, someone please keep me honest. So that I think is the reason why it seems a little disparate. And mostly, to be perfectly frank, and I hope people don't think that by my commenting on this I'm being uncouth or anything, but like y'all attacked us very early. There was a coalition that formed possibly before the season even began. I don't know all the details, but we've got Ilil, Bull, LCDR, Neon, HISP, Order. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams. 10 teams versus 2. And I know there have been like some complaints about this, but I mean the reality is y'all knew what you signed up for when you joined this server and you formed this coalition. We did not join the server. We didn't start the season um, and just join kingdoms with gods right away. So here's where I'm going to kind of get into a little bit of the history of the server. We joined the server and we did not immediately kingdom up with gods. Um, as some might have expected we would. We've actually, today is Thursday, the 5th of September. We have been in a kingdom with gods since Sunday, the 8th. Literally. One, two, three. This is the 5th day we've been in a kingdom together. The season started 16 days ago. Sorry, I'm looking at this row, but it's really this row here. So the season started on the 20th. We've been here for 16 days now. So we had what, 11 days where we weren't in a kingdom with them. We actually kingdom with apes. So we spawned in the Darklands and apes were out here with us. And there was an attack that was very obviously about to happen over here with in the Eastern Waste Pass where Hisp and Free had like, I don't know, 100 bases there. So it was like very obvious that an attack was coming. And we were out here, and apes were out here, and we didn't want to have collisions with them. Originally, in our discussions with apes, and I hope, Germ, you don't mind. Shout out to Germ the Great. I hope you don't mind if I share a little bit out here. Um, we were talking with them, and they wanted to get the hell away from us and escape and go up into the east. And so we let them kind of go out here, but we didn't know that there was this giant coalition of 10 teams coming for us at the time. So they had a massive amount of folks up here, and we saw that an attack was coming. So we formed a kingdom with apes. And that kingdom lasted for, I don't know, like a week, maybe, almost, something like that. And so we formed a kingdom with apes. I think that gods formed a kingdom with somebody within their spawn region as well, but I don't know the details regarding that. And we fought out here, and we defended the pass. And again, yesterday there was a massive, massive attack out here. There was a massive. There was actually a really nice coordinated attack between Hisp Free on this pass and Bull and Demi on the other pass into Gorgoroth. Like they're trying very, very hard to come in and hit our safe farm over here, which is cool. Um, we're defending, and we're doing the best that we can. And there have been some tense moments from our side, to be sure. Like we're kind of like, oh shit, because believe it or not, I know this might be a shock to some of you, but defending and fighting 1,000 people isn't easy. Okay, so if there are people out there who think that this is just like, youths and gods, shitting in the breeze, having a gay old time, it's work. You're making us work really hard. Kudos to you guys for the efforts that you're making to coordinate and form that coalition and fight against us, because this is not easy. This is not easy for us. Like I was saying before, there's a lot of pins. We're fighting on 5 fronts in our kingdom. There are 5 red battle pins for our kingdom across the map. We're coordinating as best as we can as well. This is not easy for us. This isn't easy for you. It's not easy for us. That's the game. That's the struggle. And, I think it's fun. Maybe you're not having as much fun, but I'm sorry, I cannot control your experience. And so, like, again, just going back to the history, we formed this kingdom with apes. We talked with apes, and we're like, you know, things are getting really bad. We're not able to defend all these fronts. We need to kingdom with gods, and gods, reached out to us and saying the same with us, because their position, and we were both over in Undeeps, and we didn't want to have collisions if we were going to partner up and potentially, hurt each other if we are going to be partners. But again, we didn't enter the kingdom and plan to partner right away. We tried, and this coalition that formed against us has essentially forced this outcome. So, in the future, just a suggestion, recommendation, um, maybe try not to be so presumptuous. Maybe open some dialogue. We have had absolutely zero discussions with any other teams on the server other than Apes and Gods. There has been a little bit of friendly banter between us and Hisp. Just, like, hey, good fights. You guys are strong. Your activity is good. Cool. That's small talk. There's nothing of substance there. So when the server formed, somebody could have reached out and said, "Hey, is this going to be the situation? Because if this is going to be the situation from you guys, this is what we're going to do to counter that." But there was none of that. It was just, holy shit, we're 7 days into the season and there are 10 teams coming at us. So, I mean, and it was obvious. It wasn't like there was like some leak of info or anything that tipped us off. I mean, literally, you guys came out here with 100 bases. It was very obvious that it was you were going to attack us here. And a short time later, we proactively went ahead and took this pass because we knew that that was going to be next. And sure enough, Hisp and Free came over here, attacked us a little bit, and I guess they decided they didn't want to be stretched across these two fronts. And then Bull came down with Domi and attacked us here, but they didn't own the region. So when you don't own the region, it takes 12 hours to build a fellowship fortress as opposed to 6 hours, and that didn't probably suit them too well. So they, after they failed some attacks over here, they went back and captured Ashen Plains Keep, and then came back down here. And there was a massive, massive battle over here yesterday between both of these areas. And in the meanwhile, we're fighting over here in the Undeeps and SAV against four other very good fellowship. I mean, Isle and Order are very, very good teams. My hat's off to you guys because um, I know it's tough, having season after season where it's kind of like this, and part of this is a product of 2.0, and a product of this is also just the cycle that we're on together, where like we by circumstances we've been on the same server for like the last 3 or 4 seasons, and I know that that's got to be kind of wearing a little bit. So I appreciate you guys a lot for bringing the fight this season. You've definitely made considerable improvements to your team between this season and last season. You guys are very competitive, and I appreciate you guys and love you guys. This has been some good fighting out here, but again, fighting along 4 fronts, Eudes alone 4 fronts, 100 people across 4 fronts, 100 people versus 200, 400, 600, 800 players is not easy. So, um, I'd like to tip my cap to our opposition, but I also want to tip my cap to our team for remaining resilient, for adjusting. We've made a number of adjustments internally within our team this season to try to maintain balance across all of these fronts to ensure that we have, not only adequate protection, but also we're giving people something to do. So I'd like to address one other kind of complaint that people have, where it's like, all right, Yudes, you want us to fight down here, but you're not letting us have our fellowship fortresses. Well, I don't know like if this is necessarily a realistic expectation on your part, because we're not going to just sit there and let you guys do whatever you want. Our players need something to do too. And so coming out here and attacking these things gives us an objective. It allows us to use, if we have full stamina, we're going to use some of it. So yeah, I mean, we're fighting and attacking, but I mean, just like look at all the stuff that, I mean, we're never going to get through here. There is forts and bases and relocation pads and tactical forts between Domi, Bull, Hisp, and Free, all over the place out here. It is complete madness, and I think it's great. I'm sorry if you don't think it's great, but like, this is not easy for us, which is something that we like. We don't look for easy, boring servers. And if you guys aren't into a similar kind of challenge, then um, I'm sorry to say that I'm not sorry. However, I do have a profound hope that all of these teams will walk away from this season not necessarily upset or angry about whatever the outcome may be. I hope that you'll walk away from the server learning some things that'll help improve your ability to fight and coordinate other big teams going forward. There's stuff that and I called this out in a separate Discord server the other day, but there are different ways that teams can be attacking us, and they're not doing it right now. And yesterday was the first time we saw a coordinated assault between multiple kingdoms where Bull and Domi attacked here, and at the same time Hispin Free attacked over here, and we were able to repel those attacks. But again, it wasn't easy. So kudos for the coordination. But I'm going to make some other suggestions again in this video, and it's not any different from the suggestions that I saw or that I made in another Discord server the other day. But like timed attacks are extremely helpful. This is something that Yudes does very, very well. Pick a target, set a time, and have as many players as possible hit that target at that given time. It's 1340 UTC. Call out the target and say, hey, how many people can hit this at 1350 or 1400? And then in your chat, the people who can hit it, put a little check mark. You see how many people can go, and then you time it so that everyone hits the target at exactly 1400 UTC, or maybe within a second of that. That is how you optimize effectiveness. If there is three Krakens sitting here and you hit them with 50 armies all at once, there's no way that those three Krakens are going to fight through all 50 of those armies. Consider it, think of it like death by a thousand cuts. Is it going to hurt you guys because you're free to play? Probably. But will you accomplish your objective? Probably. And isn't that more satisfying than sending 50 to 100 armies one at a time and watching them fail? Because there are gaps between hits where those Krakens can reinforce. If you hit the Krakens all at the same time, there's no time to reinforce. There's no time to pull back and reinforce and then put back in. Okay, I'm trying to help you guys. Okay, I'm trying. I want everyone to have fun and learn something and get better at the game. So that is one way in which I don't see this happening on any of the fronts really at all. Bull does it a little bit. I'll give them that. But to be honest with you, that is the front that I have been watching myself personally the least. I have a base out here, and I've been watching up in here to this one. I just am going on what I've heard from feedback from our other players out here that Bull do a little bit better of a job coordinating from a micro perspective from like in game battle, and then there's the macro perspective where you're launching multiple assaults all at the same time across different fronts, so you can leverage your advantage of having 1,000 players versus 200. So I hope that is helpful for you, that it's something that you consider implementing. This is something that I tried to implement on other teams before I joined Udes, and sometimes the people just are like, no, we're not going to do it your way, Turgon. We're going to do it our way. And you know what? You're completely entitled to doing things however way you want. I'm just giving some recommendations to see if you take them, if it helps increase your effectiveness. I guarantee if you use this kind of a tactic against other teams, it will be successful because we use it successfully ourselves. Um, so that is my update on the state of this server for season 16. It's a very exciting server. Let's take a look right now at some of the other leaderboards. We looked at, the team contribution. I talked about this. We looked at, the individual production numbers. I think this is also still ring related. I could be wrong though. I can't remember anything. Contribution wise, we already have some people at 20,000, which means they have almost 2 million merit. That tracks. And uh, you would expect this. We're fighting on 5 fronts against 1,000 people, so there's going to be a lot of merit. And the other component that I think to any successful team is tenacity. You know, you've got strength, you've got activity, you've got coordination, but I think tenacity is another big one. Don't give up, guys, because like I said several times now, um, it might not be easy for you, but it ain't all a walk in the park for us. We're not just strolling into Dol Guldur and setting up to take the ring uncontested. It's competitive. The server is competitive and challenging. Couldn't you stop putting me over there? I just want to go to Dol Guldur. Damn. Just want to take a look at the ringy poo. There is no one out here. Well, maybe not no one. Filth is here. Hi, Filth. That's RUSC, LCDR Kingdom. We got some ILIL folks, but we ain't there. We're going to have to work our asses off to get out here. And we're doing the best we can. And that is the state of the server. So, yeah. Uh, if anyone has any questions, comments, feedback, you are all perfectly welcome to, comment on this video. Shoot us a message in Discord. Let us know your thoughts. Public service announcement for any teams outside of the server who are watching this and that are interested in fighting with or against Yudes in future seasons. Shoot me a message on Discord. Happy to put you in touch with the remainder of Yude's leadership so we can have a discussion. My Discord handle is Turgon9699. Turgon 9699. There you have it. So, happy to have a conversation and to get the ball rolling if anyone is interested in that. Shout outs, of course, to our friends over in ILIL and Order. I'm forgetting the Order leader's name off the top of my head. Hold on just a second. I'll look it up because I think you guys deserve a shout out because you guys are Maddox. I thought it was Maddox. You guys are fierce competitors, and of course Bulg. Shout out to you. Shout outs to our partners over in God, Seafreen and Hazy, Nick. You guys are top notch to work with. Shout outs to our friends over in the other kingdoms. It's I don't think that the server is hateful or malicious. It's good competition. So Hisp, Durin, Daka, you guys out there. I don't know anyone in Free. I don't know anyone in Bull. I don't know anyone in Domi. So apologies, I can't give y'all any shout outs. Same for Neon and Theo. Shout out I already gave to Germ the Great over with Apes. Hope you guys are enjoying your season out in Blue Mountains. I thought it was really respectable that you guys were open-minded to the feedback. Not even 10 days into the season to simply change your spawn region because it's hard to fight 100 people with 40 people. Just like it's hard to fight 1,000 people with 200 people. So I can appreciate your position um, and it was nice working with you in the time that we got to work together. Hope you stay in touch. Other shout outs to my friends in Yudes like Ganja Kaya and, of course, Jeff Kaka, Razor, Let's see. Who are some of my other friends out here? Law, welcome to the team, Law, and Vessi. Welcome to you as well. You guys have been outstanding additions to the team this season. All of our friends from Sella who joined with the team, you guys are just so great to work with. Queen, SPC Moon, um, Formosa, great players came over from Sella, and really appreciate you guys. Of course, shout out to my shirtless leader Francis, and all the other leaders, Two Steps, CLF, my YouTubing friend, Fellow of the Rings. Make sure if you haven't checked out Fellow's channel, go on over and search on Fellow of the Rings. He has outstanding content. I believe there'll be a new podcast coming tomorrow, so tune in for that. That ought to be fun. We're also going to talk about the season a little bit then. Um, yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for me. A couple more shout outs that just came into my head. Darkness, Price, Vanilla. Uh, great guys. Ice Cream, the Meme Master. Uh, Shout outs also to some old friends like Swalisi 6, Azurist, D Trope, A Perk. Love you guys. Miss you guys very much. And let's see, who else can I throw shout outs to? Said Jeffy. Trying to think if there's anyone else. This happens to me every week, and every week I'm like, I should make a list of people that I can throw shout outs to. And then I forget, and I don't do it. And then I sit here just, rambling on in my videos without giving proper shout outs to everyone. Of course, Luthien and Lau, two other nice players on our team. Robin, of course, got to give Alki Robin a shout out. Another good old friend I want to give a shout out to is Danny. Not the Danny from Aces. Although you can have a shout out too while we're at it. Why not? I'll throw some shout outs to people who aren't even on the server, like Danny Tip, Drama, Harb, and who else? Who else can I give shout outs to? I got a really good night's sleep last night, and I'm just feeling the love today, even though we're getting attacked by 1,000 people. Oh man, it's been fun. It has been fun. Let's see, Wanted and Scar, good peeps over there. Let's see, who else can I throw shout outs to? Do I have any other friends I can show shout outs to? Mm, Moon Knight, TX Moon Knight, Katie, Terror, of course, Morgoth, Stuff, DP, the Phoenix Fly, Bane. It's a nice play. Just a lot of fun playing with this team. It's a crazy team. It's very active, obviously strong, and having a good time this server, even though it is a challenge. All right, that's enough from me for today. That's enough shout outs. If I didn't give you a shout out and you felt you felt left out, then shoot me a DM, and for my next video, I promise I'll make a list. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch my rambling, bumbling video. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me go on and on. And we'll do it again in about another week to 10 days or something like that whenever I have a chance to do this. So thanks so much. I hope, best of luck to everyone on the server. Wishing you all well. Great contests, great fighting. I appreciate you. And in real life in general, just everyone take care of yourselves. Stay well. Turgon the Wise, signing off. Cheers.